Super Saiyan 4 has returned, but not the way you expected. Among all the transformations in Dragon Ball, few have ever stood out like Super Saiyan 4. It was wild, primal, and an evolution that felt closer to Saiyan origins than any other form before or after. For years, fans believed it was gone for good, left behind in Dragon Ball GT, an alternate timeline of the franchise. Or so we thought. Dragon Ball Daima Episode 18 changed everything. Daima had Super Saiyan 4 make a triumphant return, using a little help from Neva to awaken Goku's deepest, most primal roots. For years, fans have debated whether Super Saiyan 4 would ever be acknowledged in Toriyama's mainline continuity. Now that long-awaited moment has arrived, and it does so in a way that redefines the very essence of Saiyan evolution. With a series that leans heavily on magic and ancient lore, Daima sets the perfect stage for Super Saiyan 4's revival by rediscovering the roots of Saiyan power. This time, however, the transformation emerges not as a mere callback to Dragon Ball GT, but as something organic, something that directly ties into Goku's essence as a Saiyan warrior. The stakes are different, the build-up is unique, and most importantly, this version of Super Saiyan 4 is not just a nostalgic throwback, it is an evolutionary leap for Goku that exists parallel to Ultra Instinct. When Daima was first announced, Toei promised it would take us back to a time when the Dragon Ball series was more about adventure, mystery, and Dragon Ball lore. What we didn't see coming was that Goku in his new childlike form would unlock something eerily similar to Super Saiyan 4, but with some noticeable differences. For the first time in years, we are seeing the return of this legendary form, but it's not exactly the one we knew. The way Daima executes this transformation is nothing sort of spectacular. The animation, cinematography, and tension leading up to Goku's transformation are some of the most cinematic moments in Dragon Ball history. It is not simply about achieving a new form, it is about reclaiming the untamed might of Saiyan ancestry, breaking away from the disciplined calm of Ultra Instinct and embracing the wild, unfiltered power of the Great Ape. But this return also brings questions. Why does Super Saiyan 4 appear now? Will it remain relevant in the story, or is it a fleeting moment of glory? Could we see an adult version of this transformation soon? How does this Daima variant differ from the original GT version, and most importantly, how will this tie into Super? Let's break it down and talk about things one by one. But before moving forward, if you're looking for a place to discuss all the hype, share theories, or just connect with fellow fans, join our Discord server, Hypes World. It's the ultimate hub for Dragon Ball enthusiasts. Don't miss out on the discussions, check the description for the link. Super Saiyan 4's return in Dragon Ball Daima is not just a visual treat, but a major lore expansion. Unlike in GT, where Goku's transformation relied on achieving a golden great ape state before regaining control, Daima takes a different approach. This time, Goku unlocks Super Saiyan 4 through a process facilitated by Neva, a character who seems to have a deep knowledge of Saiyan potential. Instead of needing to transform into a great ape first, Goku directly taps into the raw energy of his Saiyan heritage. The form itself carries all the iconic traits fans remember: crimson fur, golden eyes, enhanced muscle mass, and an overwhelming sense of primal aggression. However, what sets this transformation apart is its presentation. Daima treats Super Saiyan 4 with an almost mythical reference, reinforcing the idea that this isn't just another power-up, it's an ancient, long-dormant evolution of Saiyan might that was never fully explored. The cinematography plays a crucial role in making this transformation feel weighty. The build-up is slow, filled with tension as Goku struggles with the sheer magnitude of the energy coursing through him. The moment his body is engulfed in a fiery aura, the animation quality spikes, making the reveal one of the most visually breathtaking moments in Daima thus far. One of the most fascinating aspects of this new Super Saiyan 4 is how it contrasts with Ultra Instinct. While Ultra Instinct embodies calmness, fluidity, and precision, Super Saiyan 4 is the complete opposite. Wild, aggressive, and animalistic, the battle against Goma showcases this perfectly. Goku's fighting style undergoes a noticeable shift. His attacks become more feral, his movements unpredictable, and his instincts sharper than ever. This isn't just a new power-up, it's an entirely different way of fighting, one that leans into the primal savagery of the Saiyan race. A particularly intriguing moment is Goku's monkey walk. Unlike his usual upright battle stance, he momentarily drops onto all fours, moving like a true beast. This isn't just an amusing animation detail, it's a deliberate choice that emphasizes how deeply Super Saiyan 4 connects to Goku's Saiyan ancestry. The transformation isn't just cosmetic, it alters his very behavior, pushing him closer to the primal instincts of a great ape. This monkey-like movement serves as a reminder that Super Saiyan 4 isn't merely an upgrade, it's a reawakening of something ancient and instinctual within Saiyan biology. Goku's willingness to embrace this shift suggests that Daima is doubling down on the idea that Saiyan's true final form is far more in tune with their primal roots instead of calm and composed god root as shown in Super. By incorporating these subtle yet meaningful details, Daima elevates Super Saiyan 4 from a simple transformation to a full-fledged exploration of Saiyan history and identity. With this fresh take on Super Saiyan 4, Dragon Ball Daima is not only reviving a fan-favorite form, but also redefining what it means to be a Saiyan. There are several key differences between the Daima version of Super Saiyan 4 and its GT counterpart, and these distinctions make the transformation feel fresh while still retaining the core essence of what made Super Saiyan 4 iconic in the first place. Transformation method. In GT, achieving Super Saiyan 4 was a complex process that required Goku to first transform into a Golden Great Ape. Only by regaining control of his mind in that state could he ascend to Super Saiyan 4. This transformation process emphasized the idea that Super Saiyan 4 was a fusion of Primal Saiyan power and Super Saiyan energy. Later on, he wasn't required to turn Great Ape again and could tap into Super Saiyan 4 as and when needed. However, Daima completely bypasses this requirement. Instead of needing a moon or Blood Wave generator, Goku taps directly into the power with the help of Neva. This change not only speeds up the transformation, but also hints at an alternative method of unlocking Super Saiyan 4 that doesn't rely on external celestial factors. It suggests that the form was always within Goku, waiting to be accessed under the right conditions. Aura and animation style. Visually, Daima's Super Saiyan 4 has a strikingly different yet identical presentation to its GT counterpart. In GT, Super Saiyan 4 had a rough, almost primal look with a darker, untamed aura surrounding the user. The emphasis was on raw power and beast-like ferocity. In Daima, however, the transformation carries an aura that feels more mystical, almost divine in nature. The fiery energy that engulfs Goku during his transformation has a supernatural quality, making Super Saiyan 4 appear less like a mutation of the Saiyan body and more like an ancient and mystical power finally being claimed. Fighting style. One of the biggest differences lies in how Super Saiyan 4 is utilized in combat. In GT, the form was portrayed as a refined, almost perfected Saiyan warrior state. While incredibly powerful, Goku still maintained a level of structured strategic fighting. In Daima, however, Super Saiyan 4 brings out something far more primal. Goku's movements become wilder, almost animalistic as he taps into instinct-driven combat. He crouches, leaps unpredictably, and even mimics a Great Ape's behavior with his quadrupedal movements, reinforcing the idea that Super Saiyan 4 is deeply tied to Saiyan ancestry in a way that GT didn't explore in fighting style. Lore and integration. Perhaps the most significant distinction between the two versions of Super Saiyan 4 is how the transformation fits into the larger story. In GT, Super Saiyan 4 was treated as the natural next step in Super Saiyan evolution, something that was inevitable once a Saiyan reached a certain level of power. It was portrayed as the ultimate warrior form, one that transcended traditional Super Saiyan transformations. Daima, on the other hand, treats Super Saiyan 4 as an ancient and mystical power, one that has not been used in ages, but existed within Goku for a long time and needed to be rediscovered. This gives the form a sense of mystery and rarity, making it feel less like a mere upgrade and more like a lost relic of Saiyan history. These differences make Daima's version of Super Saiyan 4 feel unique and separate from its GT counterpart, allowing it to stand on its own while still paying homage to what made the original form so beloved. One of the biggest questions that arise after Super Saiyan 4's return in Dragon Ball Daima is why it doesn't remain a permanent part of Goku's arsenal. Since Daima takes place after Majin Buu's defeat and before the events of Dragon Ball Super, Goku should theoretically still have access to this transformation later, but he doesn't. In fact, during his battle with Beerus on King Kai's planet, Goku explicitly refers to Super Saiyan 3 as his strongest and final form at the time, so why doesn't he mention Super Saiyan 4? Why is it completely absent from Super? The most plausible explanation is that Super Saiyan 4 is a form that requires extremely specific conditions to activate, conditions that Goku is no longer able to replicate once Daima ends. Unlike the standard Super Saiyan transformations which Goku can tap into at will, Super Saiyan 4 might be a situational power-up rather than a freely accessible form. If Neva played a crucial role in unlocking it, then it's possible that Goku's ability to transform relies heavily on Neva's presence, magic, or knowledge. This would mean that once the events of Daima conclude and Goku is no longer in contact with Neva, the transformation becomes inaccessible to him. Neva's involvement in Goku's transformation raises even more questions about the nature of Super Saiyan 4 and Daima. If Neva acted as a catalyst, then it suggests that Super Saiyan 4 is not simply a power that any Saiyan, say Vegeta, can unlock through sheer training or emotional turmoil like previous Super Saiyan forms. Instead, it could be a long-lost transformation tied to ancient Saiyan lore, one that requires an external trigger to fully awaken. Neva, possessing knowledge of Saiyan history and evolution, may have guided Goku through a process that allowed him to bypass Super Saiyan 3 and unlock a far superior form, Super Saiyan 4. Without Neva to facilitate this process, Goku may be incapable of achieving the form on his own. This theory is further supported by how transformations in Dragon Ball often require a specific catalyst before they become second nature. For instance, the Super Saiyan God required a ritual involving multiple Saiyans to entrust their energies into one. Even though Goku later absorbed that power and accessed it on his own, the initial transformation was only possible because of the ritual. Similarly, Ultra Instinct was first unlocked through extreme external stress, with Goku being pushed beyond his limits by Jiren's overwhelming strength as the Spirit Bomb sucked him in. If Super Saiyan 4 in Daima follows a similar pattern, then it's likely that Goku's transformation is dependent on Neva's magic, knowledge, or some other external factor, let's say the Demon Realm environment that is no longer present once Daima ends. Another aspect to consider consider is whether Neva's involvement means that Super Saiyan 4 is an artificial or temporary evolution rather than a form Goku can permanently add to his arsenal. If Neva's magic is necessary for its activation, it suggests that Super Saiyan 4 isn't a transformation Goku can train to master as he did with Super Saiyan 1, 2, or 3. Instead, it could be more akin to a conditional boost, an ancient, forgotten technique that requires very precise circumstances to be accessed. If Goku never figures out how to activate it without Neva, or if Neva himself disappears after Daima, then that would explain why Super Saiyan 4 never appears again. We may get a clearer answer if Goku transforms into Super Saiyan 4 again in episode 19. If the transformation happens, Neva might explain the exact process involved, shedding light on why it's not something Goku can achieve freely. He may reveal that Super Saiyan 4 requires a specific type of energy or an ancient Saiyan right that Goku would never have discovered on his own. If that's the case, then Super Saiyan 4's absence in Dragon Ball Super makes perfect sense. It's not that Goku chooses not to use it, but rather that he literally can't without Neva's aid. Another biggest question following this transformation is whether we will get to see an adult Goku using Super Saiyan 4. Given that Goma still remains undefeated in episode 18, the possibility is certainly there. Some signs suggest that Daima is laying the groundwork for a more developed version of Super Saiyan 4. The transformation has made its debut in Goku's Chibi form, but that doesn't mean it has reached its full potential. In Dragon Ball, transformations often have stages of mastery. Super Saiyan itself evolved from an unstable, stamina-draining form into something Goku and Vegeta could use freely. If Daima follows a similar narrative trajectory, we might see Goku unlock an adult Super Saiyan 4 if he and the others regain their original forms in episode 19. It's highly likely that we'll witness a fully matured Super Saiyan 4, which would be a direct callback to its GT counterpart, but with Daima's own unique twist. Moreover, the fact that Daima has chosen to introduce Super Saiyan 4 at all implies that the transformation holds significance beyond a one-time showcase. If it were merely a nostalgic throwback, it wouldn't have been given such a grand introduction. Instead, its reappearance suggests that it may play a bigger role as the series progresses. The way Super Saiyan 4 was handled in episode 18, where Goku briefly attained it but then lost control to Goma's third eye, hints that the form might not yet be fully realized in its current state. It's possible that Goku's body simply wasn't ready to handle the full extent of Super Saiyan 4, which is why he fell into Goma's psychic grip and reverted to normal so quickly. Otherwise, at full potential, he could have dodged Goma. If Daima follows its established themes of rediscovering ancient Saiyan power, then an adult Super Saiyan 4 could be the true peak of that transformation. If this happens, it would solidify Super Saiyan 4's place as a key transformation in Daima's narrative rather than a one-off moment of fan service. Personally, seeing Super Saiyan 4 return in Dragon Ball Daima feels like a win for fans who always believe in its potential. It's wild, untamed, and brings back that raw animalistic power that made Saiyans unique before all the godly transformations took over. While I love seeing Goku push into divine territory, there's something special about him tapping into his primal instincts instead of just chasing higher forms of ki mastery. That said, I really hope Daima doesn't just use Super Saiyan 4 as a nostalgic gimmick. If they've brought it back, I want it to mean something. Maybe it helps bridge the gap between Saiyan history and their modern evolution, or maybe it hints at new possible power paths beyond Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego that we could one day see in Dragon Ball Super. Whatever the case may be, one thing is certain: Super Saiyan 4's return has reignited the passion of fans worldwide, proving that even after decades, Dragon Ball still has the power to surprise us. With so much to analyze and speculate on, the discussion is far from over. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Super Saiyan 4 should become a permanent part of the Dragon Ball mythos? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into Dragon Ball Daima and beyond. Thanks for watching, see you next time.